Open Sesame, our boy Chosen, man. Like, subscribe, enjoy my commentary, and if you enjoy the rankings, are they fair? Are they not? I think this 2022 fall anime was historic, maybe the best we've ever seen. So we gotta rank this top five, and we're gonna start off with one, and then go two, then three, then four, then five, and I'm gonna give an explanation. Y'all probably looking on the screen like, why is my hero there? Why is not Chainsaw Man? Y'all might cancel me, but I think Chainsaw Man was just a tad bit overrated. I'm gonna keep it a book. I think it was a tad bit overrated, but I'm gonna give reasoning for each ranking. So let me know if you agree. What was y'all ranking? How did y'all feel? Let me know. Let's continue. So let's start off with My Hero Academia. That nigga, get him, get him, punk. Oh man, we gotta start off with My Hero Academia, man. I mean, season 6 was lit. Season 5 turned a lot of people off. It was very slow, wasn't that strong of a season, but it had to be that way. We understood it was all for the buildup of this season here, season 6, the fight, the war arc, villains versus heroes, huge smackdown mania, and it was lit. It was everything we hoped for, and it was, oh my god, had us engaged from start to finish, had me screaming out of my seat. I was like, get him, swing, get him. Showed off cases of all heroes, especially Hawkeye. We got to see number one hero. Like I said, these are, let me say this now. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Um, everything was amazing. Um, and it was dark too, right? Which I think was, we saw some people die. I thought that ingredient is something that makes My Hero amazing, even though like animation wise it may look a little kiddish. It's a very dark atmosphere to it as well and keeps it very fair. Um and yeah, just 10 out of 10. We finally see Midoriya grow up. He's no longer crying. He's locked in, and this is what every My Hero fan has been waiting for. My Hero Midoriya to just poke his chest up. I'm him. I'm him. It's me and Shigaraku. Mano me, you. WrestleMania. Nah, but the series, the whole season was flawless. We had a huge reveal at the end. I won't spoil that one for you guys, but that was amazing. In the fight scene between Shigaraki, Midoriya was just amazing with Endeavor, of course. I think the only problem I kind of had with the season, even though I still give it a 10 out of 10, was I feel like, well, Bakugo got to shine, Midoriya got to shine. I feel like Todoroki really didn't get to shine in this season, which I felt like he was like the odd one out, like the stepchild or the middle child of the family, not the youngest, not the oldest, but the middle child. He just kind of got left out. I feel like that was the only kind of letdown for him, for me about this season was Todoroki felt like he got left out. They didn't really get to showcase his power. He kind of was just kind of scared towards the end. Didn't really know what was going on. Bakugo showed off his prowess, showed off his strength, and Midoriya really grew this season. I think this season was just amazing start to finish, and everyone showed emotion from the villains. You were like, dang, hella emotional for them, and then the heroes as well. You were hella emotional for them, and you can see that both of them are working very hard, putting everything on the line. Plus Ultra, y'all know what it is. But yeah, man, 10 out of 10. I gotta say for season, this is the number one anime of the fall. Oh, man, just amazing, man. I just, after a travesty with season 5, I think season 6 really lived up to it. I'm hyped for it, and I hope I didn't spoil too much. But there's a lot of surprises, a lot of people that pop up out of nowhere, and it doesn't feel, quote unquote, fake. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, these new anime are getting away from the random kind of, you get mad, you turn to Jesus Christ walking. There's more background to it. There's more nuance to it. There's more reasoning behind it. Although there is still the plot armor, there's more reasoning for why people do what they do, survive, and they attack, and they pop up out of nowhere and randomly. It's just amazing to see. And it all came to a great fruition in season 6. We saw heroes succeed, we saw heroes fail, we saw villains succeed and villains fail. Huge, deep, emotional season, and I gotta clap it up for coming along because this fall season was action packed, and people have been preying on My Hero's downfall with the likes of Jujutsu Kaisen coming out, Demon Slayer coming out, and even Tokyo Revengers coming out, and Vinland Saga. It felt like My Hero Academia was getting pushed to the back. Black Clover too was getting pushed to the back. It needed to take it's a great first right foot forward for this season, for its return of the Mac, and it did here. So this is definitely ranked number one. And now let's talk about the second anime of the season. Ranked number 2 is, oh my goodness gracious. Let's talk about it. Ooh, I get chills. Let's play that back. Let's play that back. I get chills just watching that. I get chills. I'm getting chills, y'all. I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills.
あんなに怒ってる総隊長初めてです。
アホ、俺かて見たことないわ。
総隊長殿が総隊長殿
I'm
が
trying to show y'all him racing across. Oh, there it is. There it is. Y'all see it. Y'all see it here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give y'all the best possible so y'all could. Oh yeah, there it is. Ooh. Ooh. Get that. Get him. That nigga dog too. Woo! 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 But yeah, man, I had to have this ranked as number two. Number two, 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 number two anime of the fall season. And why is it number two, right? I couldn't put it over to be number one because of the fact of I felt in the second half of the season kind of fell off and slowed down. And my also kind of critique of this season was it went kind of fast. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they kind of dived right into the action, and which I enjoy because I watch One Piece and I know how slow some animes are, but it felt kind of just everything kind of happened extremely too quickly. Maybe it wouldn't have felt like that if it didn't take so much time. This Bleach return season didn't take so much time since the last time we seen Bleach, right? Anime in the screen, right? So I felt if they didn't take that long break, maybe it wouldn't feel as rushed. But it just kind of felt like that. It just everything happened so fast. I was like, this is kind of weird, right? It didn't even give us a chance to kind of digest that we're back. It just was like, yeah, boom, bow, 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 right? And I want to say, take the show. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler! This Captain Yamamoto versus the Quincy King was an amazing fight. I mean, great fight. I mean, the first half of the season was amazing. We were tied to, oh man, people were getting hit, man. People were getting hit, man. It was just crazy to watch. Amazing, emotionally roller coaster, man. You were hurt, you were down bad if you watched the season, especially if you love Bleach. Bleach is in my top 5 anime of all time. But like I said, I do have some critiques. Number one, spoiler alert once again, is the Quincy's can steal the bankais of everybody, right? And that trope kind of reminded me of when the captains had to fight their own Zanpakuto, right? So basically just fight their own bankais, and it felt kind of that same trope a little bit. It reminded me just like that. I'm like, why are you guys frozen like that? I can't remember if that was a movie or just like filler arc. But it felt exactly like that, and I kind of was like, they couldn't come up with something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't come up with something new, a new trope for why they would lose without it having to be, oh, they stole my Zanpakuto. It reminded me just of them having to fight their Zanpakuto. It was like you guys couldn't, the writer couldn't switch that up, and I did. I kind of had a maybe I'm no cutting hairs, right? But I just felt like that was kind of weak. It kind of like I was like, oh, I kind of seen this before. I feel like I've seen that trope before. And I also want to say that my biggest hiccups were, like I said, at the end of the season, towards the end of it. Once again, in head captain Yamamoto. Before I get to the end of the season, my fault. I'm jumping kind of everywhere. Is I want to say that I was trying to think of who reminded me of like who scared villains just like Gojo did, right, in the Jujutsu Kaisen series, and Yamamoto came to mind, and I was like, that's who scared everybody. I remember Aizen had to set a trap for him. Like, Aizen was giving him no one-on-one fade. Like, nobody ever gave Yamamoto a one-on-one fade, right? And kind of similar here. He's kind of tricked, which is amazing to trick him, right? If anybody's seen Kingdom, spoiler alert, you know what happens to Wayne. He kind of gets tricked himself. But this one kind of felt like, ah, man, he got hooked. He couldn't even really get the fair fight. But we kind of see why we never see Yamamoto ever really fight full out. And we kind of get to see him fight full out, but yeah, watch it. But let's get to my nitpicks of why this couldn't be ranked number one anime of the fall, right? So Ichigo What's your favorite anime? What's going on, the Fibroski? We are ranking the top five fall anime right now. I'm giving a. This is gonna go up on the YouTube channel, so I gotta talk about it right now, bro. So we're talking about the second half, and basically in this season, towards the end, after all the fighting is done, Ichigo is confused and he doesn't know his history, right? His past. He doesn't know anything about his mom. Doesn't know who he is. He feels kind of confused about his birth, and he finally finds out his mom was a Quincy. So he has Quincy in him. He's like part Quincy. His mom was also injected with a hollow inside of her, and that's why he has a hollow inside of him. And his dad is a soul reaper, right? He finally finds all this information out, like to fully and how his mom died, and it felt like um he could have been told this, like his dad finally reveals everything to him, but it felt like his dad should have and could have told him this a long time ago, and it felt like we all should learn this in past seasons, in prior seasons, if anything, right after Isaac, right? And it felt like the writer was trying to clean up his own mess, and here's why: because they explain in the story how basically Ichigo's dad gives the mom his soul reaper powers to help keep her from holofying, and because of that, for the last like 20 years, he hasn't been able to see hollows. He can't sense hollows, and he lost all his soul reaper powers, right? So it kind of explained that, and why that was key is because in the top five worst anime dads of all time, Ichigo's dad is in there, and I feel like they were trying to explain, oh, you're probably wondering why his dad never did anything before him just randomly showing up fighting Isaac, right, and destroying the other hollow that killed Ichigo's mom, right? And they're like, yeah, here's the reasoning. It still felt L dad for still you didn't mentor him in 20 years. Like, are you still that trash, right? Like, you didn't even help mentor him at all. You obviously knew what was going on. Like, you're a captain level intelligence. Come on, man. You're still L. He's still in my top five worst dads of all time. But we're gonna have to change the ranking for him. But back to the main point is, what's up, one true top villain? Relax on the boy once again. Um, but yeah, man, I'm gonna say, like I said, the information with Ichigo got from his dad. It felt like we should learn that a while ago. Ichigo's dad waited until they're under fire. Wake, I mean not Wake Mundo. The Serete is under fire by the Quincy's. You couldn't tell him he was part Quincy when he was fighting Aizen, or like how his mom died when he fighting Aizen, or after he officially lost his powers and then got his powers back. You still wouldn't tell him who he is. Like nothing. Really? That was kind of the whole for me. In that, it felt like L dad, L story. And the story behind how his mom died and stuff really isn't that terrible to why he wouldn't just tell him. And it just felt kind of goofy, not gonna lie to you. And like I said, he's still L dad for not helping his son in 20 years, giving him any type of insight, giving him any type of mentorship at all. Trash, other than I guess technically kind of at least give him self defense combat classes, right? And another problem I had comes from another dad who is parallel with Ichigo's dad, which they both share the same similar story with an involvement, not an involvement, but had a relationship with Ichigo's mom, and that is Uryu's dad, L dad as well. He refuses to tell Uryu anything about the Quincy history at all, even after Quincy's literally show up and Uryu literally goes into the library that they have in their house, looks at books, and the dad comes in. He's like, "Yeah, what you're looking for isn't there, but stop." So are you gonna tell him now, or? And he's like, "Nah." Just what? It is not like Uryu hasn't been fighting to risk his life. Like Uryu went to this area as a Quincy, which is dangerous. Uryu went to Wake Mundo, which is a Quincy, which is dangerous. And obviously, Uryu's dad knew that what Ice is doing, at least sensed it a little bit, and still refuses to tell Uryu anything. Once again, it feels like Uryu should have got the information about his past a long time ago, and he just doesn't. Right? It's just weird, and the reason behind it, I'm still kind of confused about Uryu's dad's reasoning, but it just felt dumb. He just refused to tell him, and it was like, what is going on? And also on top of that, let's stick with Uryu. Uryu's emotions in the season, goofy, goofy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It felt like Uryu's emotions in this season were emotions you thought he already conquered by now, right? And here's what I mean by that. one, they don't. Ichigo never. We never see in the show that Ichigo actually tells Uryu that he thinks the enemy is Quincy's, but Uryu automatically figures that out himself. He already kind of is thinking that, right? And then Uryu is kind of in between of helping them. He's like, I don't know if I want to go to Wake Mundo to help out a bunch of hollows. And, Ichigo is, and he's going to, I think, yeah, I guess Soul Reapers and Quincy's could never really be, friends. I thought, Quincy's were all wiped out, and I guess they're not. And, we'll never truthfully get along because Quincy's erased the souls, and Soul Reapers are supposed to guide the souls. We'll never get together, and we can never be cool. It's like, bro, didn't you go to the Serate to try to go save Rukia? Like, I thought we moved past this. It literally, all the Soul Reapers and captains know you're a Quincy. I'm pretty sure they know. Like, it's not hidden. Even in Waco Mundo, you use your Quincy powers. They didn't know you were a Quincy, and they still never try to kill you. And you still have this, like, certain hatred, this certain resentment towards them. And it's like, bro, if anything, Ichigo's your man's, bro. Like, you haven't moved past, like, no, I'm a Quincy. I'm rocking hardcore. Ugh. What? Like, why are you on this, like, weird. Nah, I'm on the opposite side of the coin, man. Like, it's Romeo and Juliet, weird emotions. And it's like, bro, y'all went through all this. You're still feeling this way? And like I said, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. At the end of the season, he joins the Quincy King, who literally just basically annihilated half of Soul Society and Soul Reapers and almost killed Ichigo and Rukia. And he's just at the end, he's like, yeah, I'm rocking with the Quincy King now. And I'm like, what? Like, just like that? Like, not even like I'm conflicted, just I'm full on with their side. And to this day, like I said, it just felt goofy. Um, Things that should have been addressed both prior to the season and Uryu's character. I feel like the emotions he was feeling, you'd have thought by now he moved past on, and or he was like fully stronger rocking with Ichigo. It just felt kind of goofy. Like this should have happened. This outburst by Uryu especially should have happened way earlier in the series. Not what is 367, 380, 378 episodes, like movies, like I don't know. But I still have it too, just for I think the nostalgia factor with it is what kind of maintains it. And the first half of this, I think 8 episodes of the season was just high paced, very lit. A lot of bad things happen, a lot of great things happen. Edge on your seat. If you love Bleach, you were devastated at the end of the season. But those are my kind of nitpicks of the series and why it stays at number 2. Now let's talk about number 3. And a lot of y'all are wondering why this is number 3. Yeah, so they're getting it in right there, as you can see. And this is my number 3 anime of the fall season. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I may be a little bit biased because I actually love Bleach. It's in my top 5 anime all time, so I'm not mad at people putting Chainsaw Man at number 2. But I got it at number 3, and here's why. Great anime. I'm gonna be honest, very great anime. Action was amazing. Um, Great fight scenes. Goes into action. Animation itself, top tier. Good different story, right? Um, and did have its funny moments. Not gonna lie. But there was something that was lacking, and that was an emotional connection to any of the characters. I mean, any of them. I mean, just nobody. I mean, I think the only closest person I kind of even had an emotional connection to was the Chainsaw Demon that we see for like the first episode, I believe. I think he's gone at the first episode. I mean, everybody else is just like, I mean, they're cool. I mean, they're all right. And like I said, spoiler alert. What's going on, Reptile? We are now currently giving top 5 anime of the we're ranking the top 5 anime of the fall season. I'm ranking right now, and I got Chainsaw Man at number 3. Bro, feel free to chime in if you want to. This is going up on the YouTube channel. Number 3 though, yeah, like I said, Chainsaw Man. It was lacking any type of emotional connection with any of the characters. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Chainsaw Man, when the gun demon makes his move, and everybody dies, everybody's getting hit, right? One, I knew off rip that the pink hair lady was not dying. She was too. She looked way too strong, way too raw. Like she was not dying. I already knew that off tops. And two, everybody else that died, I didn't really know him. I didn't know him. Didn't care about him. It was like, oh, they're dead. This is crazy. But anyway, even the main character, the wild dude, Chainsaw Man himself, he's not. I'm not emotional tied to him either. He's just kind of, he's cool. Like, he's hilarious. He's funny. He kicks people in the dick. But am I connected to him? Am I hurt? Am I devastated? No. It just felt like, everyone's just cool characters. Even Aki. And Aki obviously is, I think, quote unquote, kind of like a parody. I think he's kind of a parody of, is it Megami? Megami and Jujutsu Kaisen kind of reminds me of the serious character I hope for revenge, and they kind of have him as like I feel like a parody character, and even him like he's cool too, but like I said, no emotional connection. Even when the um, ghost agent dies, right? I'm like, God, that's tough. If anything, I didn't even really like her. Like, I didn't really like her. Like she barfed in the main character's mouth. Like she was kind of a weirdo. Like she was cool, but she was kind of weirdo. Like kind of didn't even really like her. And then everybody else that died, they kind of tried to throw Chainsaw Man under the bus. I didn't really like him. Just kind of was like, I mean, this is a cool action-packed anime with no emotional connection to it at all. And especially if I'm going to compare it to Jujutsu Kaisen's first season, Demon Slayer's first season, and Vinland Saga's first season. And Vinland Saga first season, I give 10 out of 10. All my street knows this. Demon Slayer, I mean, they're just amazing at making you care about new characters. And I got this over it, obviously. And then Jujutsu Kaisen, when Itadori, spoiler alert, Itadori, uh, I think takes his own heart out, kills himself to save Megami because he just turned into Supernova. Like that was an emotional moment. Like you were like, oh no, and then you kind of started rocking with Megami, which ain't so man. It just doesn't feel like there's any connection with any of the characters. No emotional connection, and obviously it's the first season. But it didn't accomplish what I think Demon Slayer did, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Vinland Saga all did. So that is why I have it as overrated in my opinion, with all the hype behind it. That's just me. But that is also why I have it at 3 because number 2, Bleach, with the number I rated as number 2 of the fall season, has a nostalgia factor, man. You know, we care about the characters. They have a little up on Chainsaw Man. Is it fair? No, but it is what it is. In My Hero Academia, once again, nostalgia factor. We know the characters, and we're attached to them, and it was just. But that one was just lit from start to finish. And my last but not least problem with Chainsaw Man before we move on to the ranked number 4 anime of the fall season, very anticlimactic. This fight scene right here, Chainsaw Man versus Katana, uh, just happened in like 5 minutes. Like I was watching the last episode, I was like, "This is gonna be the last episode of the part one, season one," and like this is it. Like it really was the most anticlimactic end to Chainsaw Man I think I've to a hyped anime like that I've ever seen. Like it's just wow, that's the fight, huh? I mean, I guess like the villains came in different, super fire, set the stage on fire. And then when they fought him again, they were just kind of like, yeah, no, it's over. Like what? Like, like what? Even like, like, um, oh my gosh, like the girl who kills the ghost hunter, Aki fights her, and the girl who killed the ghost hunter was using the ghost demon as her own. Aki defeats it, and then the girl has no other way to fight. Trash. Trash. Being honest, trash. Trash. Oh, why am I doing the list backwards? I like doing it this way. I like to be different. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is pretty much why. And let's talk about the number 4 ranked anime. And I'm happy with this.
まだ少しだけ残ってる。何が何でもここを
絶対止める。考えろ。俺がレオならマークがきつかろうが何かを起こせるなき。いや、そう見せかけて斬鉄。どっちだ。ここはブルーロックだ。
So let's talk about number 4 on the list. Like I said, I'm doing this backwards, but I like doing it this way. Number 4 is Blue Lock. Really good anime. I'm not gonna lie. I liked it. Was new. It was fresh. Something different, and it unlocked something in a team game. I think we all. I don't really know much about soccer. One, they were smart to release it during the World Cup. It already got even more views, more hype, and the Japanese team, I believe, made it pretty far. Um, but yeah, just great. You know, it was team oriented while also being selfish, but it also were things that I think if you ever play sports, you can relate to. and if you're competitive at all, you could relate to. Especially, I felt, when the main character was talking about getting down on himself, and he was so caught up about everybody else's gifts, everybody else's talent, that he started feeling down about himself, and he couldn't focus on what he brought to the table. And I feel that we all do that, right? You get so caught up with, oh, he's good, he's good, he's good, he's good, that we ignore our own blessings, right? We got it better than most people. There's somebody else worse than us off, right? Like, we're talented in some degree, right? And I felt that. And it was just a great, really good show. Like I said, I would rate this kind of an 8.5, honestly speaking. Um, I really enjoyed it, to be honest. But yeah, obviously it has its classic cliches because it's a sports anime, but very fire anime and a different look. I feel, yeah, different look, knock it out the park. I really no spoilers for it, honestly. Just I highly recommend this anime, something new, something fresh. And I don't even know nothing about soccer. I don't watch soccer, so like I remember I couldn't watch Kiriko no Basket because I actually played basketball. I was like, this is trash, but because I didn't play soccer, I think this was done very well, very interesting. And I think it's really not a character you'll dislike. Maybe one actually. But all the characters, pretty interesting, pretty cool. I enjoyed it. All right. Number 4. And last but not least, we have Eminence of the Shadow. I believe I said that right. Um, this is a really smooth anime. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would give it like a 7, 7.5. Like, it just does what it needs to do. It kind of reminds me a lot of Reincarnation of the world's #1 assassin, I believe. Uh, is this technically isekai? I think it is. I think it's technically isekai. But just a smooth watch, gets the job done. Doesn't take itself too serious. Once again, it's an overpowered main character. He's brought to a fantasy world, but he actually doesn't want to be the main character. He likes kind of being in the shadows. Basically, he likes to be Batman, right? He doesn't want to take too much credit. He's like, nah. He tries his hardest to be a side character, but the comedy part of it is he always ends up in main character roles or main character positions, and he has to figure his way out of it so he can still be a quote unquote side character in the background character. But his, you know, Batman side is the main character, right? But great anime. I'm like, not, I don't want to say great. I'm gonna say very good anime, good watch, cool, gets the job done. If you got enough to watch, highly recommend. And just like I said, it's a smooth watch. I think it rounded out the fall anime very well. I had this at number 5. I didn't get to watch. I think is it Futara with the god being that started off from like, was it like Moss Rock and then a wolf and then you met a kid and then that anime is kind of slower for me, so I never could make it to the second season. I got fed up with it after the first season, so I didn't watch it this season. And I want to give an honorable mention to Golden Kamuy, which stopped because I believe one of the creators of the show died, so they stopped after episode 6. So it really couldn't make it to that point. But yeah, all in all, these are my top 5 of this historic fall season. Um, what did you guys feel? What would you guys' rankings be? Let me know. Am I tripping? Am I wilding? Should Chainsaw Man be higher? Chainsaw Man be lower? Is there anime y'all would have in your top 5? Let me know. And was my reasons good? Or was they terrible? It's your boy Chosen. Like and subscribe, enjoy my commentary, enjoy my ranking. If not, fair enough. Be like you trash. Let me know what should I react to next, man. I'm out. Ooh.